All right, let's talk about the interim presentation. So many of us see it as just another deadline, right? Another hoop to jump through. But what if it's actually your secret weapon for success? That's what we're going to break down today. How to use this moment not just to present, but to totally elevate your final project. So here's the big question, isn't it? How do you take something that's, good and turn it into something that's genuinely great? The secret isn't some last-minute, all-night-long sprint. Nope. It's all about knowing when to hit pause strategically.
And that strategic pause? Well, this is it, the Interim Prototype Presentation. We're talking about that crucial showcase in Week 10. This isn't the grand finale. Think of it as a structured opportunity to show off your prototype and, most importantly, get critical feedback right before that final push. It really is your project's turning point.
Now, it's so easy to mistake this for just a simple status update, but its real purpose, its strategic value, goes so much deeper. This isn't just about showing what you've already done. It's about shaping everything you're about to do.
Okay, let's get this perfectly straight, because this is the single most important mindset shift you can make. Your interim presentation, it's not a test. It is a feedback engine. Its whole purpose is to spark a conversation that's going to fuel your final week of work.
So what do you actually get out of this? Well, for starters, you get real, constructive feedback while you still have time to use it. You get to test drive your design story, see what parts connect with people and what parts fall flat. It's the perfect practice run for the final show. And this one's huge. It forces you to get really good at explaining why you made every single design choice.
All right, so you're on board with the why. Let's get down to the what. Here are the core things you absolutely have to include to make your showcase a winner.
Just think of it like this simple 4-step checklist. First, walk everyone through your process. How'd you get here? Second, show off the key improvements you've made. Third, you've got to demo it live. Show, don't just tell. And finally, tell the story of your user feedback. Show how what you heard directly shaped what you built. And this right here, this is the whole point. Your audience needs to see the journey. They need to see the progress from where you were to where you are now. You're showing them that you're not just building in a vacuum. You're listening, you're thinking, and you're iterating. That's powerful.
And that brings us to the how. Look, a great presentation isn't just a boring list of features. It's a compelling story. It's about the art of persuasion and really showing off the power of your iteration process.
I love this because it nails the dual purpose of what you're doing. It's not enough to just show what changed. You have to educate your audience on the why. You're explaining the reasoning, the user insights, and the logic that led you to make every single change.
And honestly, there's no better way to tell that story than a simple before and after. Show them the before, your initial ideas. Then, bam, reveal the after, the new and improved prototype. And make sure you explicitly connect the dots between the changes and the feedback you got. It makes your whole process feel real and your decisions feel solid.
I really can't stress this enough. Every single important change you made needs a rationale. Why did that button move? Why did you totally rework that flow? When you justify your decisions, it shows you're thinking deeply, and it builds incredible confidence in both you and your project.
So as we start to pull this all together, let's connect the dots. A fantastic interim presentation isn't just a one-off thing. It is the absolute best way to set yourself up for a knockout final presentation.
The dress rehearsal analogy is just perfect, isn't it? This is your chance to find those awkward sentences in your script, that one slide that's a little confusing, or that sneaky bug in your live demo. Trust me, it's way better to find those things in Week 10 than in Week 11 when it's the final show.
And this table just lays it out so clearly. Look at the cause and effect here. In Week 10, your prototype gets feedback. By Week 11, it's polished. In Week 10, your slides might have some weak spots. By Week 11, they tell a killer story. Your Week 10 narrative is a trial run, which leads directly to a confident, clear delivery for the final presentation. It's a direct line. And that transformation, that's what this is all about. Everything we've talked about serves this one single goal. When you really lean into the interim showcase, you make sure your final product isn't just done. It's polished, it's coherent, and it's genuinely compelling.
So if you remember just one thing from all this, let it be this. Don't just try to survive your interim presentation. Use it. See it for what it truly is, a powerful, strategic tool that's designed to make your final work so much better.
And so I'll leave you with one final question to think about as you get ready. It's not just about whether your prototype works. It's about whether your story, the story of your users, your process, and your decisions, is strong enough to be told.